I just had some appointments at my chiropractor office. Kirsten Brock, the best. When I stopped before I said that I was gonna cut back to fast forward to January 2025. I'm gonna go back actually, because there were some things that when I was getting a massage that I was thinking people are gonna have questions about that. So okay. So the miner who told my mom who raised me, Lucille, that someone told them that someone killed my mother and all of that, that was a friend of another miner family member who was spending the night at the family house. The adult who told the miner that he had done this was actually the miner's father. So yeah, her own father told her that he shot my mother in the head. And this is from what my mom, Lucille, had told me. Said they had shot her through the head from here. Put her body in her car. Shotgunned the car off into the stripper pit, whatever. All that stuff that I said before. And he said that if she told anyone that he would kill her too. His own daughter, he said this to. That person who told that to his daughter is now deceased. He passed away years ago. The daughter who had been told that information was interviewed later on as an adult. She wasn't for sure if it actually was true, if he was just making it up. She didn't know if it was true, if it actually was the duck pond. Some people have said too, like there's a place a little bit further out that's the Goose Pond, I think in Linton, Indiana. I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like there's so many different possibilities that could be happening, but I remember the day that my grandma Lucille who raised me, told me about the duck pond. I was 20 when I first heard that all that even happened, existed. And, you know, I was a year and a half old when my mom disappeared. The only mom that I ever remember ever having is Lucille, my grandmother who raised me. And as a child, you ask questions and then you get answers that are child appropriate, they're age appropriate. So of course, that's not something you just kind of dive into when someone who's 5 or 6 starts asking questions. So I guess about that time, like I had said, was when my son was about the same age as I was when my mom disappeared. And I started asking a lot more questions than I guess I had in the past, and that's when she told me. At the time, I was home with the toddler during the day, and I was working in the evening as a cook at St. Philip's Inn in Posey County, which is still there. I was working there as a cook, and she told me this, and I remember driving to work that day in the afternoon after she told me, and just there was a song playing on the radio. I think it was Patti Loveless, How Do I Help You Say Goodbye? And it was about the mother. Like, look up that song. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I'm like bawling and singing at the same time because it was all new information. Hold on, I need a minute. Okay. I feel like there was more that I wanted to talk about, but I forget now. If I remember, I'll bring it back up later. But so the duck pond, that original duck pond thing, was always just something I still can't get over, because there's no way to prove it or disprove it. If she is in there in her car, just rotting away, sure you can imagine what that feels like. And knowing that you'll probably never know for sure. It's been a thing. It's hard. And I know some people in the family have just been able to just kind of let it go, and just exist and live their life, and it doesn't bother them. And I exist and I live my life, and I have a pretty happy life. I think I'm a pretty happy person, I think, because when people would find out all of this stuff happens, like, oh, your mother disappeared when you were 1.5, and then your father was killed when you were 3, and then your sister died when you were 5, and you were raised by your grandmother, and all this stuff. You seem so normal. But you seem so normal. You seem so happy. I am, for the most part. I am a happy person for the most part. I'm also moody Misty, and misty. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, it's been a thing, and I've come back to it. I'll let it go. I let it go for a while, because it will just become all-consuming in my life, and just consume it, and I have to let it go for a while. It always comes back around, man. It always comes back around. Always. And anybody who knows me and has known me for some years, it always comes back around somehow. Something always comes back around, brings it back up. So even if I wanted to let it go, the universe ain't letting me. So that's always been a thing. There's never been any other locations come up, and I know that you've all seen, if somebody else tells me to contact Adventures with Purpose, I did, okay? And I know and I'm not saying anything bad. So many people have told me, contact Adventures with Purpose. Okay, I'm here to tell you, I did. They declined, okay? They don't do anything that says anything about possible foul play. They don't. They're one of the first ones that I contacted. After I did the podcast on, anyway, this is how I am in real life. So I'm gonna have to cut this out if I remember. What was I saying? This is when it's nice when someone's with me and they can tell me where I was. What was I saying? I'm in a Target parking lot right now. I told my girlfriend I was going to Target, and I am going to Target, but I decided I was going to do a real quick video, and this is probably going to end up being longer than real quick. But anyway, what I was going to say when I brought up Adventures with Purpose, I know how everybody's seen all of these videos where people are finding remains in cars of people that have been missing for years, some months, some years, some decades. It is amazing to me, how before all these started coming up, nobody thought to look in these places before. God, it's so frustrating. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Chaos Divers actually used to work with Adventures with Purpose, and they're a more local group out of Illinois, I believe they are. Someone named, I think, Jasmine, contacted me. I'll have to go back and see if that's correct. Sent me an email through the Murder Sheet podcast that I was on and gave me Chaos Divers information. I don't know if that's right or not. I think that you follow the page, you can let me know if that was you. I remember the name, so. Anyway, so I contacted Chaos Divers, and that's how all that started. But how this all started again, let me go back. January 2025. I'm like, squirrel. January 2025. So up until this point, there was no other location to look. Like, nobody, some people thought she just left. Some people thought, you know, she's in the duck pond and, oh, sorry, I can't look. She's just there forever. You just have to live with it. Unfortunately, you know, all that. In January 2025, I got a message on Facebook from this woman that I didn't know. I didn't have any friends in common with her. We didn't have any like mutual friends on Facebook.